Hey everyone, welcome to Geeking Out with MellyMel. I'm Melissa. Today I have another crystal video for you guys. Today we're going to talk about what to do when you first get a crystal. Stay tuned. Alright you guys, so first things first, I just wanted to say that I am in no shape, no way whatsoever an expert. I am a beginner. I am still learning. So everything that I am going to talk about today is just really based on my opinions and my own personal experiences. So let's get started. So when you first get a crystal, whether you purchase it through Etsy or you go to like a brick and mortar store, or maybe someone gives you a crystal, there are some things that you should be doing. So today I am going to talk about 3 things that I do when I first get a crystal. So I had recently done a video where I talked about my top 10 crystals for beginners. I'm actually going to link that video right here. In that video, I had mentioned that crystals are said to absorb energy and transmit energy, which is why they are said to have metaphysical properties. So because crystals absorb energy and transmit energy, that's why it's really important to cleanse them. So that is the very first thing I do whenever I get a brand new crystal. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I cleanse it and why? Well, the why again is because they absorb energy. So right before that crystal makes its way to you, it's been handled by a lot of people, right? And we're not just talking about whomever mined the crystal, which again, that's a different topic, right? You gotta make sure that when you do get crystals, they are ethically sourced, but that is another subject for another day. And so that is one person that touched your crystal. Also, of course, whomever you purchase your crystal from, and of course also the postal workers, right? So there are many people that are handling that crystal before it makes its way to you. And let's face it, not everybody always has an amazing day, right? So you definitely don't want to bring home any kind of unwanted or negative energy, right? So that's why you need to cleanse that crystal, just to make sure you're getting rid of those unwanted energies and they don't stay in your house, right? So how to cleanse your crystal? There are many ways to cleanse your crystals. I'm just going to go over the ones that I have personally used. The first method that I am going to mention is water. You can actually place your crystal under running water and just kind of visualize a white light cleansing your crystal as the water touches your crystal. Now, the one thing about that is that you have to do your research and make sure that your crystal is safe to come in contact with water. There are some crystals that do not react very well to water. Some crystals like selenite can actually start dissolving in water, and other crystals could potentially be toxic if they come in contact with water. So that is the first method. Now, the water method is okay to use for crystal like clear quartz or amethyst or rose quartz, but definitely do your research when you use the water method. Another method which I actually really like is smoke cleansing. Smoke cleansing is when you use, for example, incense. You're going to light your incense and you're just going to pass your crystal through the smoke, and that cleanses your crystal. Now, you could also use a smudge stick like this one. Sage, same thing. You're going to light it and then you're just going to pass the crystal through the smoke. So that is smoke cleansing. Sage is said to be really cleansing, so that is what people use when they do smoke cleansing. Another method that I like using is sound cleansing. Now, you're probably wondering, what is sound cleansing? You can actually use a singing bowl like this one. I actually purchased this one through Amazon, and the way that it works is that you're going to sit it in your hand. You're going to make sure your hand is open like this, not like this, because if your hand is cupped, then the sound waves are not really going to work the way they should. So definitely have your hand open like this, and you're going to hit it on the side and then do this. I need to get better at it. But the waves are cleansing waves, and you can actually use this to cleanse your crystal also. Another method that you can use is you can use some cleansing crystals. Now, by cleansing crystals, I mean something like selenite, where you can actually sit other crystals on top of it, and the selenite actually cleanses the other crystals. What I typically do is that I would sit some crystals on top of a selenite wand like this one, or maybe a selenite charging plate, and I'll leave them overnight, and that's it. They're cleansed. So it's very, very easy to do. There are some other ways you can cleanse your crystals, like for example with the sunlight, right? You can sit your crystals out in the sun, but just like with water, you have to make sure that that crystal is okay to go under the sunlight, because crystals like amethyst, for example, can lose their colors if exposed to the sunlight like that. You could also use the full moon energy to cleanse your crystals. And another thing that you can use, which I've only done it once because I feel like it's a little wasteful, is you can use the brown rice method. The way that works is you're going to set up a bowl with brown rice uncooked. You're going to kind of bury your crystal in there, and you can let it sit overnight. It is said that the brown rice will absorb any unwanted energy. Now, once you're done with that, you're going to discard the rice, because all that rice has absorbed that unwanted energy. So you definitely don't want to consume that. Now, because it is a bit of a wasteful method to use, I've only done it once when I got this crystal that felt a little heavy to me. So I felt like I needed to do something a little bit different, so I used that. But again, there are tons of cleansing methods. You can even bury your crystal like in the ground. That's another way of cleansing it. So you have lots of different ideas as to what you can do to cleanse your crystal, which in my opinion is the most important thing to do when you first get a crystal. So kind of going back to what I was saying, in my personal opinion, because crystals absorb energy, I don't really like it when other people touch my crystals. So I don't think it's a good idea, again, in my opinion, to have anyone else touch your crystals but yourself, because I mean, again, like I said earlier, not everybody has wonderful days every day, right? So you definitely don't want your crystal to absorb any kind of unwanted energy. So in my opinion, you shouldn't let anyone touch your crystals. But now I can actually go on to the second thing that I do when I get a crystal, and that is research your crystal. Now, typically when I purchase a crystal, I have already researched the crystal, so I already know a little bit about it. But typically when you purchase a crystal, depending on the store you're getting it from, it does come with some literature, some information about that crystal. So I typically read it carefully, and I also do some extra research just to have all the information, or as much information as I can get about that specific crystal. Now, the last thing that I do, or the third thing that I do, is that I try to get acquainted with my crystal, right? Get to know your crystal, spend time with it, handle your crystal, feel it, hold it, observe it, you know, just really spend some time with your crystal, and also be really aware how you feel when you handle it. Do you feel happy? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel energized? Do you feel very creative or inspired or motivated? Those are all things that you should be aware when handling your crystal. So yeah, that third step is just to really get to know your crystal. And if it helps you, write it down, write in a journal how you felt when you handled the rose quartz, how you felt when you handled, let's say, a carnelian. Did you feel energized, right? So those are the three things that I do, and that I think people should do, right, when they get a crystal. But again, the most important thing is to cleanse your crystal. And that's it, you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you found this video helpful. Let me know if you have crystals and what is your favorite method of cleansing. As usual, if you love the things that I talk about, definitely subscribe, comment, like, and hit that notification bell so that you can keep winking out with me. Bye!